it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and I'm so excited today. This is my first ever collaboration with somebody. I've done many challenges, but this is the first one doing it with my dear friends. So let me tell you all about them, and let's go. All right, you guys, today's video is a Christmas collaboration. It's a Ren 1010 Christmas galvanized tier tray ideas with my dear friends at Home with Kay and Craft Away with May. Both May and Kay I met through YouTube, and we are doing this Christmas collaboration today, and we hope y'all like it. Y'all go check out their channels, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Now let's get on with the video. Okay, here we are at the craft desk, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape down a piece of tissue paper to a piece of regular copy paper so that I can print off some designs that I'm going to put on my little snowflake. Okay, after I finish those, then I've got this little snowflake that I got for, I think it was 50 cents at the thrift store, and I'm going to clean it off. And I am going to take, I printed off a Let It Snow, and I'm going to take and give this a fresh coat of paint after I clean it and let it dry. And then I'm going to add that little Let It Snow to the center of it. I'm going to paint this with the Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint, and then I'm going to add my little Let It Snow with the Mod Podge. And we'll see the rest of this at the final reveal. Now, while I have my Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint out, I got this little snowman and I took the paper off. It pretty much peeled off really well. And I painted both sides of this with the Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint. And then I'm going to paint my snowman on here because I think it looks more high-end than it does with just the paper. While that's drying, I went back to my Let It Snow and put that on. And then I pulled out some of these little building blocks that are made for kids. And I painted one section of it white. And I'm going to decoupage this little, if snowflakes were, if a kiss was a snowflake, I'd send you a blizzard, because I thought that saying was so cute. And I'm going to put this on this little block, and then I'm going to add some other pieces to it, but we're going to Mod Podge this on first, and then we're going to jump back over to our little snowman. Now our snowman says snowflakes are kisses from heaven, and I took and put that, I'm going to Mod Podge that onto the little snowman, but I'm going to paint him first. I'm going to use this black chalk paint from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint his little hat on and his little mittens on. I'm going to take this Pink Paradise paint from Apple Barrel, and I'm going to just put a little bit down, and I'm going to add a little bit of white to it because I want to take some of the pink out of it. And you can use any white paint. I just use that puffy paint because that's what I had out, and I'm going to mix that in well, and then I'm going to put some little rosy pink cheeks down for my little snowman. Then I'm going to take orange and white and load my brush half and half like I've shown y'all before, and my other brush was a little too big, so I got the smaller one out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create his little nose by just doing like a little circle motion. You just kind of press down and then bring it out, and that white creates the little ridges in the carrots. Then I'm going to take out my Sharpie marker, and I'm going to make me some little almond shaped eyeballs on my snowman, and I'm going to draw his little mouth in. I'm just making it a crooked mouth because the pink was dry, and I'll put some little freckles in there on the pink. And then I'm going to get out my white Uniball gel pen, and I decided that's not working like I want it to, so I'm going to get out the Sharpie paint pen, and I'm going to put little dots in his eyes. I get that done, I'm going to take my ultra fine Sharpie marker and create some little eyelashes on my snowman. He is turning out so cute, you guys. And the next thing I'm going to do is take my crimson chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to add the little red band to his hat. And this is so cute, you guys. Then I take my glitter and I am going to put some glitter while that paint is still wet on his little band, and it'll only stick to the band. I put some on his nose because his nose is a little wet still. And then we are going to brush off any excess glitter. And that's a clear glitter that came from Michael's. And then here I go, I'm going to paint his little mittens in because we want all this painted and dried before we put any Mod Podge or little words on here. We're waiting on him to get good and dry. We're going to set him to the side. And you guys, I kind of did all of these in one thing so that you could see the process, because a lot of times I'll start one thing, have to let it dry, so go ahead and work on something else. Now what I'm going to do is take two more of those little building blocks, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put a snowflake on the top one and a snowflake on the bottom one, and I'm going to glue this together and let it dry. Now, on the back side of this, since it's going to be on a tier tray, I wanted to paint the back side so that if it was seen, it had something on it. And so these three blocks are going to say warm hearts, cozy fires, and snowflake kisses. Now I'm going to paint this all in that black, what's that paint called? I know, it's the, yeah. It's the black chalk paint from the Dollar Tree. And then some of these letters I just go in and write with my Sharpie marker. Now I'm going to go back with each one of these, and I'm going to take my Posh paint pens and I'm going to go back and highlight each of these letters, and we will see this at the final reveal. And next we're going to go back to our little snowman, and I already Mod Podged the letters on, and now I'm going to add a little leaves that I cut into the shape of holly leaves to his hat, and I'm going to add 3 little berries to his hat as well. And you can see his fingers, his gloves are still a little wet from where I put the Mod Podge on. And then I'm going to take my little paint bottle here, and I'm going to take and add some snow to the top of his hat. And I'm going to add some glitter to it as well. And then I'm going to take out all my pens that I use for highlighting, and I'm going to highlight his nose, go around the sign. You know, I always say the details are in the finishing of your little designs that you do. And I just doodle all over him to make sure that, you know, he just pops out. This Ren 1010 Christmas Galvanized Tier Tray Craft Ideas is a collaboration with At Home with Kay and Crafting Away with May. Y'all go check out their channels. This is such a cute Christmas collaboration, and I am so thankful they asked me to be a part of it. Y'all go check out their channels and see all the things, the beautiful things that they are making as well. And here we'd like to give special thanks to all our subscribers for subscribing to our channel. We really appreciate you, and we are so grateful and so thankful that you've taken the time to subscribe to our channel. Now let's get back to crafting. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some fake candy, because that was part of the collaboration challenge, is that we had to make some candy. So I took one of those rollers, foam rollers from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut me a piece off, and I'm going to wrap it up in this ribbon that I have, and I'm going to make it look like fake candy. I didn't quite get my ribbon wide enough, and I didn't want to cut another piece and waste it, so I just covered it up just like this. and then I glued it onto it, and then I'm going to put it in a cellophane wrapper. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some of my air dry clay, and I'm going to roll it out into a little bitty roll, and then I'm going to roll it back up like you see me doing here, because I'm going to make me some lollipops, peppermint lollipops. And then I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to get me out a straw, and I'm going to stick it in there before this dries. I'm going to stick this piece in here, and then I'm going to make, I think it's 2 or 3 more for my project. Now, while I'm waiting for those to dry, I'm going to take my bottom pan to my tier tray, and I have found the center. Now I'm going to actually make my whole tier tray. Some of this is hard to get into the video for y'all because of the size of the tier tray. Now I started out making this with a rolling pin, but I ended up changing it because I didn't like how it looked. That's one thing about crafting. You have this idea in your head and you think, oh, that'll look so good. Then you get started in it and nope, that's not it. Now I had to drill holes in all of my pans that are going to be used for my tier tray. Now this is a cake pan that the bottom of it comes out, and I found the center of it and I drilled a hole in it as well. I also drilled a hole in my little dish that's going to go up at the, and here's my little dish that I'm going to put at the top, and see I had to drill a hole in it as well. And you want to make sure you drill your hole over a board so you don't mess up your desk or table or whatever you're working with. And here I go with that rolling pin thing. It didn't work, so I moved on to another part of this. I went and I had to glue that plate in that goes in this cake pan so that it would stay up when I put it together. Got that glued, I set it to the side and let it dry. Now I found these spindles. Somebody was throwing them away, so I picked up all of them. And yeah. So I'm going to get out my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint, and I'm going to make sure these have a good coat. Now they already had some gray on them, but you can see they were naturally wood to start with. And I cut that spindle in half because this is going to become my tier tray. You guys, this tier tray turned out so cute. So after I get these all done and let them dry, then I'll assemble my tray. After those are good and dry, I'm going to take, and through that hole in the bottom of my pan, I'm going to stick a bolt that has a flat head on it. You've got to have a flat head one because that is going to be sitting on that and you don't want your tray to wobble. So you're going to put it in there and screw it down tight, and then once you get it all tightened down, then you add your next tray. Now when you add your next tray, it's going to be a little easier because it's going to have the hole in it, and you're going to take and put that over it and set it down on there, and then you'll take your next piece and screw it down onto your tray. And then you'll add your top piece. You'll put a screw in it, which it's very hard to see on this video because this project is so tall. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my little candy pieces, and I'm going to add the cellophane. Now if you take your piece of cellophane and you put your candy wrapper on, and you take 2 paint sticks and let that plastic stick out through the paint stick, it's hard to see it, but I'm trying to show it to you, and then you light it up, it'll seal it just like you have a candy wrapper. And then I'm going to take and make me some little labels to put on these. Hey guys, I apologize for the jumping around on this video, but I had to paint things and let them dry and then go work on something else and then come back. So now we're going back to our little candies because they're dry before we put the labels on, because I'm going to make labels for these as well. And I'm going to make me some little peppermint lollipops. Now I'm painting this with that Waverly Crimson, and we're going to paint the front side and the back side and add glitter to it and put it in its own little wrapper. Now I'm going to take and paint this with just regular glue. That's regular glue in my little bottle. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with some clear glitter. Now I'm going to just take the a little Ziploc bag, and I'm going to place my little candy in it after it's dry. You want to make sure it's dry. And I'm kind of measuring out to see where I want it, and then I'm going to cut this like in a triangle shape and then put it over it and seal it up. Then I made me some little labels that say Peppermint Candy Company and put them on there. I made some for my little candies and some for my lollipop. Now I'm going to use my little sticker maker that I have. I got this at Michael's years and years and years ago. And I'm going to make my little labels so that they stick to my candies. Now we're going to make a little arrangement for the top of our tier tray. This is going to be my little sign, and it's going to say lemon drops, gingerbread, gumdrops hot chocolate, and candy canes. And I'm going to take all of these and paint them each a different color, and then I'm going to stick them to that little straw, and I'm going to make that little bead. I'm going to paint it black so that it matches my little candy cane. Now I'm going to just use my little Sharpie marker and write all of these names on each one of my little signs for my signpost. Then I'm going to glue all of these to get onto the little candy cane post. That little straw that I'm gluing onto came out of a Starbucks cup that I got years ago. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut us a piece of foam for the top of our little dish at the top of our tier tray. Then I'm going to take and stick my little signpost down, and I'm going to start adding different pieces that I have. And this is just old Christmas bits and bops that were left over. And I'm going to take and start sticking this down in here and creating a little arrangement for the top of my tier tray. We have one more item that we're going to make for our tier tray, and this is going to be a little lantern. This is pretty simple. I just took one of those garland ties, and I took some of this wired berries, and I'm going to wrap it around this and stick it on my little lantern and add a few little red berries, and this will be in a bow, and this will be ready for our little tier tray. Now the next thing we're going to do is assemble our tier tray. We put our little arrangement in the top of it and added it, and I don't have it glued down at this point. I'm going to make it where it sticks to the top of the tier tray and is sturdy and is not going to move. And then I'll add all of my other little elements into the tier tray. And isn't that cute? And then we're going to, I'm going to glue that in. That's what I'm showing you. That's what I did. Then the next thing we're going to do is add our little snowman. We made him for the bottom of this tray, and I'm trying to get it where y'all can see everything, and this was really hard to do because of the position of my camera and everything. So to me it looks like you can see everything, but now that I'm doing the video, I'm looking back and can't quite see that bottom tray, and I just start adding little elements to the tray to fill it up. And there's my little candies in my little scoop that I picked up at the thrift store. And then I'm going to take my little lantern and I'm going to place it down on the bottom by my snowman. And this little tier tray turned out so cute. And then I have a little gift box that was sitting in my Christmas stash of stuff. I added that. And then our little two-sided sign, we're going to add that to the tray, and we'll see the rest of this at the final reveal. Okay, here's all the other places that you can find us on social media. Go check us out, and here we go with this final reveal. back from the craft desk. Look at this. Isn't this so cute? Y'all go check out those other channels. Check out At Home with Kay and Craft Away with May. They are both talented ladies. Go check them out and see what they're doing. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
I messed up. It's another. Oh, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we're back here today doing a Christmas collaboration. I messed it up. Yes, babe. I didn't buy it. I promise I didn't buy it. Check them out and see what they're doing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.